Hello, everybody, and welcome to hour number 2 of Destro session 14. Sendo, what's up?
So you guys are basically having lunch as the Lord from the Valmir Empire shows up with like 6 maids, or they're like formal maids, and he's like, "All right, let's get this over with." And each maid goes up to one of you.
I'm still dressed up, aren't I? All fancy.
Don't think anyone changed your clothes.
Yeah, I'm still dressed up all fancy.
I'm wearing my basic robes again because I did go to bed eventually. Eventually.
Yeah, basically you pull out these measuring tapes and start measuring your arms, your like waist and everything. Any of you guys resist?
No.
When she goes to pull it out, I stop her and I hand her a piece of parchment with my measurements.
She nods and bows to you and then walks away.
You can never be too careful.
So yeah, they take the measurements of the rest of you. Right. And the maids leave, and he...
Oh, sorry, my mic was off. I was trying to ask what they were doing that for.
Oh, he tells you, well, you obviously can't meet the Emperor looking the way you do.
Oh, well, do we get to pick what you're making for us, or what? You're just going to make us something and surprise us?
He nods and says, yes, let's leave it as a surprise.
I say, I don't know about this. Say you got to promise not to make me something pansy looking. No tights. No tights, no gowny, floofy looking little foofy lace things. I don't like any of that stuff. And I won't wear it.
He looks at you and says, I assure you, it's the finest of clothing.
Well, thank you. Could I have some beads for my beard as well? Some fancy ones? Because look, these have blood in them.
He's just looking at you with this dumbfounded look on his face.
You don't want me meeting him with old dirty, bloody dwarven beads in my beard, do you?
He lets out a sigh. Sir Crunk, perhaps you should bathe.
You don't want to know what happened last time I tried to do that. I don't remember what it was.
I do.
Just then a head pops out of the floor. Lets out a chuckle. Disappears.
Crunk just shivers with the chill down the spine.
Alright.
He's like, Sir Crunk, you have to bathe sometime.
Okay, I'll bathe it. Get me some beads, alright?
He nods.
Yeah, so you guys gotta have one here? Where are we?
You're at the inn, the big inn.
Oh. I'm gonna say, well, I guess I'll have my leave. And I want to go, I guess I'm gonna go bathe.
Okay.
I must be dirty, so yeah, I'm out here.
Yeah, it's very...
somewhere.
Relaxed.
Yeah, I guess Ken says.
Oh, yeah, there we go, right there, in the hallway. That's what I'm thinking about.
There's a door there. There's a door right here, man. You can see the door handles.
I'm joking. Kind of looks like the hallway.
Kronk just leaves the door open.
Crunk thought it was the hallway.
Start singing a dwarven bathing tune.
Yeah.
So the Bamir guy says, I suggest you get ready. I simply need to go find the final person of our expedition, and we will be heading out.
When and how will we be heading out?
Final member.
By carriage.
And when?
In an hour.
Okay.
Mind you, it's like 10 or 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
He looks at you, Uzi, and says, unfortunately, I believe it's a good idea to get you out of town as soon as possible.
Tenzai nods in understanding.
I just smile when he says that.
He walks off, looking for another person.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to. While they're doing that, I'm going to like just poke my head out the door. Like, you know how like the cities have like the basic like street urchin, stuff like that kind of just, sit
Like
around.
homeless children that pick your pocket.
Yeah, the ones that you can use as runners, all that kind of stuff, right?
Future rogues.
Yes, but I'm gonna find
the future.
I'm gonna find one and ask him what the news around town is.
Do you want me to send this to you or say it out loud?
Send it to me,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Okay. Jeez, now I have to multitask.
Way to go, Mega.
So you guys go gather up your stuff.
Yep.
Guessing.
Grab everything, yeah.
After about 10 minutes, one of the maids comes back and is there to escort you to the carriage or the wagons whenever you're ready.
Okay. Do I still have the potion of invisibility? Or did you feed it to the dog?
We fed it to the dog.
Okay.
So what's happening? They're taking us to the coronation thing, or?
To the carriage.
We're traveling
first,
to the
yeah.
the capital.
Well, all we
of the
know is
Empire.
we're getting in a carriage. I don't know exactly if they're going to take us there or not. But we're getting in a carriage.
I really think he just wanted Krunk to bath so he didn't have to smell him the entire trip.
All you got to do is tell him he's not trying to be difficult.
Alright. Yeah, Tenzai doesn't resist.
Yeah, there it goes with.
Wait a minute, did we get our clothes?
Yeah.
That's what Crunk said.
Well,
Oh, so we got them and everything.
I don't think that the clothing's going to be ready right away. They're not going to take our measurements and hand it to us 10 minutes later, but
Then how do we get it?
it takes time. Well, at some point. I
So
don't
we got
know.
to come back.
Well, no, they'll probably have it to us when we get there. Maybe maybe when we get there, maybe later, but like around that time, before we go in to see the Emperor, of course.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I didn't take a bath for nothing. Jeez. So he gets in the coach.
Is it that much effort to take a bath for you? Is it the beard? Does the beard take a while to...
Oh, son of a bitch. It happened again.
Yeah, it does that to me sometimes.
Was that in, like...
Oh, well, at least it's not that bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we know that much.
You could maybe do like a separate Skype message.
Maybe I'll just have to do Skype from now on.
Yeah.
That's good though. Well, that would be. Yeah, they would. Yeah, that would be the word around town, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine.
All right.
Okay. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and flip the kid a platinum,
Wow.
and
What kid?
I tell
Oh, that kid. Yeah.
yeah, and I tell him I said, don't worry, don't worry, kid. Uzi will be back one day, and I kind of wink at him, and I go walk in and get in the carriage.
He
Just give you some good ass info, man.
he runs down the road.
I've got the golden ticket. Pretty
Poor
much.
kid
Yeah.
takes 20 steps, and then all the other urchins just tackle him and start beating the hell out.
Well, it kind of looks like a silver.
You know what? Wait. What kind of carriage is there?
Bar.
Trunk like goes back to the door of the carriage and looks out and like I want to look at the outside of the. I want to see the way it's built and are there seats on top in the front like.
Yeah,
How's
it's
it
kind of
built
like
and
a
everything?
Western style wagon, where the driver
Open
sits
or
up front.
with a roof on it or
It's roofed. It's for lords.
is there like a seat next to the driver guy or whatever?
Yeah, it's a bench where the driver is.
Oh well, I tell the guys I say I'm gonna ride in the front and try to keep watch, make sure, try to make sure we're not gonna get ambushed by bandits or anything. It's a dangerous world. So and then I jump out and I get in the front and I introduce my guy to the stage to the driver.
The driver, yeah.
So you sit down next to the driver and you're like, so this head I named Rick.
Huh? I missed it.
I got it. Don't worry.
Oh. Anyway, he says I'm crunk. He's like I'm crunk, and I ask him what his name is, and then tell him I'm there to protect him, and I have a seat over there next to him. I said I'm gonna make sure we stay safe.
He doesn't really say much. He just nods. Keeps
He
nodding.
He doesn't his name or anything.
No.
Is Valmir with us?
Rude
His
guy.
name's not Valmir. He's a diplomat from Valmir.
Oh,
Valmir.
what's his name then?
And yes, he's with you.
Okay. You don't want to give us
Do
a
you
name,
ask
do
him
you?
what his name is?
Nah. Tensei's not really that
I do.
friendly.
I'll ask him.
He says his name is... Trenton Burney.
Trenton Benny.
And Prenton. So, do you serve the Emperor directly, or do you serve the Emperor's advisory staff?
He chuckles. He says, I serve as the Emperor's word.
Well, you must admit that that for the benefit of the Empire, cities like Griffin Shore. It is Griffin Shore, right?
Yes, it's Griffin Shore.
Okay.
Love how quick you
Almost
went to
made
that.
me do
I was about to do it too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I made sure. Cities like Griffin Shore, which remain independent but allied with the Empire, it would probably be much better in the long run if they were under imperial rule by a lord tied directly to the Empire versus a third-party lord making alliances which they could easily sway given the right pressures.
He looks at you and says, yes, there was supposed to be a firm alliance. However, somebody deflowered the princess, and he looks right at Uzi.
Uzi puts his head down.
True. No, and true, and that's very unfortunate. But given the spirit of love, once Uzi is coronated as a Lord of the Empire, and of course performs the tasks that are required of us by our Emperor, That's how I said our emperor. Wouldn't it make sense for him to return and claim the woman that he loves and take leadership of the Griffin Shore from the existing lord in the name of the Empire? Legally and via the people who love him so much?
Can Crunk hear this conversation? I don't know if
No,
how
you,
far
you
the
can't
speed
hear
is
anything
from
that's
the-
happening inside.
Okay. Just
Uh,
making sure.
I mean, we're a long ways from that, obviously, but, you know.
He says, yes, I believe you'll have to climb the ranks before a proper arranged marriage can happen.
Well, as you've seen in our winning of the tournament, climbing ranks is what we're good at.
He chuckles and says, yes, that's why you're in this carriage.
Yeah. Are we actually leaving yet, or are we still waiting?
Right now, you guys are at like the gate, and they're checking around the carriage, making sure that everything's okay.
I lean over to Uzi. It's like, right before we go through the gate, lean out the window and yell that you'll return for your love. So is the word of the immortal Uzi Tensai Uzi.
Okay.
I just realized it was Zach.
Yeah. That's alright. So yeah,
So the windows don't open, but you can open the door.
Yeah, there you go. You can open the door.
alright, as we're leaving, Tensai's gonna open the door and poke his head out. Is people watching, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tensai's gonna say,
There's a fairly large crowd just watching their hero leave.
I Tensai Uzi will return for
Imagine
my
you're in the arena.
will return for my love. What was the rest of it? Puts his head back in.
Oh.
Oh. I have a lot of work to do.
What was the rest of it?
And I poke out and I'm like, the immortal Tensai Uzi will return to claim his love and return to the people who have made him the legend he is. And then I close the door. Ugh.
The diplomat has a fairly large smile on his face.
Are the people cheering?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
Well, at least.
Want me to roll a charisma check?
No, it's not necessary. Not with that performance.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, you asked for it.
Yeah. We need to work on that. One day when you're rolling Griffin Shore, you're going to need to actually be able to speak to people.
So, Varric, you've been quiet. What are you doing during this trip?
Actually, he's not here.
He's not here. He
Yeah, he's
dropped.
still trying to reconnect.
Oh, that's why he's been quiet.
Yeah,
Well, he's
He
quiet a
probably
lot.
passed
anyways.
out.
Yeah.
He's in the corner.
he's still got a friggin' hangover. He's just lying there.
Yeah,
trying to
I'd
Yeah,
probably
works.
take a nap. If I was him, I'd take a nap too.
You guys
probably.
wrapped him in a bedroll, threw him on the back of the carriage.
On the back? Why not the roof?
Well, the roof isn't really designed to carry heavy loads,
Is there a trunk?
but there's a storage area on the back.
Okay, there we go. Varric the
That
Shy.
he's back in roll 20.
So what's the so Prenton? Through my various contacts, I was told that the winners of these tournaments, besides, getting various gifts and titles, etc., there was an expectation of the winners to essentially perform a task that has been unaccomplished at this point. And do you know anything about that, or was I misinformed?
He kind of leans back, puts his hands on the back of his head, and he says, well, I suppose no harm in telling you what's going on. He looks straight at you and says, do you know of the Empire in the East?
Well, I know of them. Let's see how well I know. What would that be? History?
Are those
Yeah.
are those the ones trying to kill me?
History, current world. He looks at you confused. What?
It's not too bad.
Well, I
Apparently, Siri is pulling up a history article on history. I didn't even activate Siri; it just did it on its own.
One of the
help.
lords who entered the tournament was from the East, and unfortunately, us killing him in the tournament and not offering him quarter has angered those people. So they attempted to slay Tensai in between tournament matches. Which, interestingly enough, I didn't see the guards or the Lord raising a fuss that they had assassins openly operating within their system or city, which is another reason I feel that the Lord would be better served to no longer be a Lord, as he's neglecting his responsibilities due to his emotions.
Tensai.
He looks at you and says, well, let's look at it this way. That Lord's assassin was targeting someone he hated. And he looks over to Tensai.
Tensai pulls out the spear tip and asks if he can read the writing on it.
Let's see. Oh yeah, you can read it. He looks at it. He just shakes his head.
What?
Looks at you and says it's a death incantation. These Eastern people are quite superstitious. They think that words have power.
I guess we get the spear tip back, and I look at it and look up, and well, I'm still alive, so I've got that going for me.
Yes, apparently you're immortal.
Tensai just shakes his head. Yeah, well.
Yes, it's true that the assassin was after someone the Lord hated, but even you must admit, as a lord or a emperor, a king, it's very messy to allow somebody else to handle one's enemies when you should handle them in a direct fashion. Unfortunately, that Lord's mistake was, on several occasions, he tried to be diplomatic in his handling with Uzi, which means he set the ground rules. If he really wanted to have him executed outright, he should have done so, but by putting him in the tournament, he gave Uzi power over him with the people. And Uzi has taken full advantage of that and has continued to win his fights and become the immortal Tensai Uzi, something he never happened had the Lord simply executed him, which he should have done in the first place.
He kind of chuckles and says, yes, I'm sure his daughter's crying and complaining had nothing to do with that. She seems quite smitten with you, Uzi.
Uzi becomes red in the face.
Besides, as we know, nothing stops the power of love. And I chuckle.
He was completely silent. And then he speaks up, well, the only way to trade with the Eastern Empire is through Griffinshore. As the sea monsters to the north block the coastal trade routes. And even if we manage to clear it of the sea monsters, the barbarian tribes and the steppe nomads are in our way. So our and he puts up air quotes, task for you is to create a settlement in the northern forest to establish a land trade route with the Eastern Empire.
Is that dangerous?
Uzi, it's fine. What? I pull out a small bag of jerky and hand it to Uzi. You must be parched. Here you go.
I am never gonna get to eat my 10 days of rations, aren't I?
This is good. This is Hydra jerky.
Oh god.
Tensai eats
You
it.
made Hydra jerky?
Didn't
I
you?
I made wolf kebabs one time though.
Anyway, who where we're establishing the land? How much imperial support are we looking at? Are we going to have troops to access, or are we pretty much going to be on our own?
He looks at you and says, "You'll be given a few carpenters, a small contingency of soldiers to protect the carpenters and the town once it's established. But
And
we can't give you our full support with the war up north."
what's like? Has the surrounding area been properly mapped, or is it pretty much unknown? Or how? Like, I'm at this point, I'm just going to try to get as much information about it out of him as I can before we.
Yeah. Every expedition they send in, they haven't heard back from.
Okay, so it's okay.
It's pretty unmapped. The edge of it's fairly well mapped, but once you get over the mountains and the hills, it's just dense forest as far as you can see. It's not corrupted forest like the southern forest, but there's definitely something there.
So what?
Okay.
What about the war up north?
What'd I say that lord's name was? Shit.
I don't think you said the lord that she was supposed to marry, or do you mean the Talon Shore lord
Maybe.
or Griffin?
It was like Demico or something.
No, that's
Demico
right.
is the lord of the Griffin Shore.
I'll be right back quick.
Yeah, so he asks a question, then he goes right back. So I'm going to answer his question while he's gone.
He's probably eating his jerky anyway.
But yeah, their troops are busy chasing down nomad armies, and whenever they think they have the nomad armies cornered, they have to retreat to fight some barbarians that are just waiting for the chance to get to the imperial cities. So it's kind of like a constant back and forth battle.
Who's the leader of the nomads? Or is it? Are they? Okay, let me rephrase this. Are the nomads and the barbarians working with one unified leadership, or are they like ravaging horde? Like, basically, is it just like a clan of barbarians decides one day to go ahead and attack, and the next week it might be another clan? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of like that with the barbarians, but the nomads are being led by Kanji, who's pretty much unified most of the steppe nomads.
So is the Empire trying to stretch to the north and take his territory, or is he breaking south to take the Empire's territory?
Kanji is raiding the southern empire. They haven't really tried to conquer anything yet. They usually just raid it, leave it in ashes, and go away.
So they're hoping that this trade route to the east will supply them, will increase the amount of goods and materials coming through to help them with the war effort, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay.
Even though it could be years before we see any true trade.
Well, I'd keep an eye on Oh. Oh. How? If okay, I I was told by my informants and the money I'd paid basically got the information about us establishing the Eastern settlement, etc. Okay. What concerns me was this information is this information known to Lord Demico?
Uh, he kind of chuckles and says, uh, he wasn't too happy when he heard about it, but yes.
Well, wouldn't this risk him allying with the Empire to the east, knowing very well that the Empire is essentially finding a way to cut him out of the trade between the east and himself?
As you've noticed, Demico's not the brightest out there.
Tenside chuckles.
He says, while yes, he has a strong trading relationship with the Empire to the east don't have any high-ranking traders. To them, traders are scum.
Awesome.
You guys want to know anything else, or?
I'm thinking. No, I think we've actually kind of narrowed it down. We know where we're going. We know what we're going to be doing. So that's all we really need to know.
How long is the
Besides
travel?
the,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it'll be a week.
Okay.
A week? Whoa.
sorry, besides you said there was some kind of enemies in the forest or something like that. Are there any other known threats in the area?
In the area of the forest?
Yeah, you said like over the mountains and in some forest.
None of the expeditions have come back, so
So it's
I'm
just
imagining
okay.
yeah. I guess we'll find out when we get there. It's a good thing you're with us, Varric. Nothing bad can happen while Varric's at our side.
Exactly.
Yeah, see?
So as you're traveling down the road, you guys kind of pull off and stop. And
Well, I'm looking around the whole time when we're going down the road. Like, what do I see?
oh, it's
'Cause
just
I'm sitting up
a
front.
shady area with a clean brook of water.
Well, I'm looking around towards as far as I can see, just to see what I see. So I'm gonna roll a perception, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Off in the distance, you see a something flying. It's hard to see considering how far away it is, but there's definitely something moving towards you.
Oh, something's flying towards us.
Mhm.
And it's pretty far off, huh?
Meanwhile, inside the carriage, the messenger, I need to give him a name. I'm tired of calling him the messenger.
You did, didn't you?
Did I?
Prenton Burney.
Oh, yeah. Trenton Burney. I need to write that shit down. Yeah, Trent, or Mr.
Trenton.
Burney. Such a weird name. He says, we'll have lunch here.
I like pat the driver on the shoulder and like point up to the thing flying and say, "Hey, you see that?" And then point up to it.
He looks up. He kind of puts his hand over his brow so that he can see and squints. And then he looks at you and nods.
And you say, "Well, you think it's safe to stop here, or it's coming right? It looks like it's coming towards us."
He nods. And it's coming towards you from the north.
And we're traveling south to north, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tensei looks for
I say,
more of
what,
that hydra
do you
jerky.
know what it? I say, do you know what it is?
He
Like,
nods.
you don't seem worried. What is it?
He just kind of looks at you and slants his head a little bit.
No, what's that look for?
He just kind of shrugs.
Tensei looks over towards Krunk. It's just like, dude, are you not gonna join us for some food or?
Well, I'm trying to. I say, look, that thing's flying towards us. I'm trying to figure out what that is, and I'll point up to it.
At this point, Trenton looks up and he's like, "Oh, I see. They're sending a messenger." And at this point, it's getting fairly close. You could tell it's a griffin.
Griffin.
Your mortal enemy.
I put my hammer down like towards the side. I don't want to look threatening to the griffin. Like hang it on my bag or whatever.
And so when you guys approach the stream, I guess, since you're setting up a kind of makeshift camp, there's evidence of a camp from before. It looks fairly recent.
All right. Tensei's just gonna, I guess,
Um,
relight the fire of that camp.
well, I look around. I'm looking around everywhere around the camp to see if they
Give me
anybody
perception.
left any see if anybody left anything, I guess, or anything like that.
You can't find anything.
Mm.
Anyone else want to look around?
Sadly, I'm the paranoid one. You think I'd be the one all crazy?
I'm just
Okay.
looking for gold and stuff. I don't know. I'm not paranoid.
Yeah, I'll look around. What is a perception?
Yeah. Okay. As you're looking around, you kind of start hearing this almost like snoring. And as you get closer to the snoring, you recognize... God, what was his name?
Groat?
Yeah, Groot.
Yeah.
Just laying up on a branch.
Who's Groot? The wolf, right?
Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's laying on a branch.
And next to him is Calypso.
No, who's Calypso? I thought
Gladys. It's
Grunt was
Gladys.
with Gladys.
You mean Gladys?
Oh, okay.
Same.
Gladys, right?
Yeah.
That's her arena name.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
What an I don't yell, but what an interesting place for a nap. As I'm looking up at the tree.
The branch is fairly wide, actually. It's a little strange that they're up there, though.
I would say so, yeah. I don't see him, though.
Does Tensei hear
And-
Mega say that?
I don't think he said anything, did he?
Yeah, he said.
He just
Yeah,
kind of
I
looked up
said-
and...
I know.
Oh.
I looked up and said that's an interesting place for a nap.
Okay.
For a what? Oh, a nap.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're still sleeping. They don't even...
Does Tensei hear him?
Yeah.
Tensei looks over as he's
Oh, does
getting the
Crunk-
fire going.
Well, if Crunk hears him, he looks too.
What are you planning to go to sleep or what are you talking about? Mega? Are you wait, is the fire going? Did I get the fire going?
Is Uzi standing next to me?
Yeah, you got the fire going.
Okay, yeah, I go to stand next to Mega.
I snap my finger in front of his face so his eyes focus on my fingers,
Okay.
and then I point up.
I look up.
You see Grolt up there.
And then I pat him on the back. I gotta reward him.
Tensai, what are you doing here? It says it like really loudly.
She is a winner as well.
So
I thought-
Gruul kind of like lets out this growl as he looks down. And he just kind of like blinks a couple times and, what are you doing here?
Well,
We're heading to the capital.
yeah, we're going to the coronation. I was thinking about
What are
why
you doing in that tree? I say. What are you doing in the tree?
they were sleeping.
Why are you sleeping in a tree?
Oh, yeah. That was supposed to be a GM roll.
Whatever.
So, Tensai, you start feeling a burning sensation on your leg.
Okay. Look down at my leg.
Your leg's covered in fire ants.
And shake him off, get him off.
Give me dexterity. Yeah, you managed to get him off, but in the meantime, you took 3 damage.
Okay.
And you start hearing this, like, gruff chuckle. Now you know why.
Well,
And as you look around, you can see these
Trunk-
small, like,
Trunk
holes in
looks
the
down
ground
and,
all around.
Oh wait, I don't know to look down, do I?
Well, I think after Tensai jumps around and starts,
smacking off his...
you know,
Yeah, I
brushing
guess
his
I-
legs.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would look down and I'm gonna like make sure I'm not in ants and move if needed to not be near ants. Yeah.
Yeah, they have their own mountains. They're really short mountains, though.
Well, what
So
why?
it's not, like, visible.
Yeah. What? Why aren't you in the carriage with us?
He looks at you and says, why would I ride in a box?
What?
You can ride on
That's
top of the
what I'm
box.
talking about. That's why I ride up front, Grunt.
Oh, by the
He
way,
says, mind you, she's sound asleep.
yeah.
Yeah, Calypso's completely out. And he says, I prefer to use my own legs.
Yeah, but it's gonna be
faster than
it's gonna be a long trip if you're going by foot.
By the way, did we remember to get Varric out of the trunk?
I
Yeah,
believe he's still rolled up and tied in the sleeping roll.
Oh, okay.
he was
Yeah,
talking though. Was he talking through the trunk? Hey guys, yeah.
Tensai goes to get him out.
Okay. Yeah, Zach, they dumped you in the trunk.
The trunk.
Ah,
You were passed out because you were hungover. You decided to take a little nap, so we threw you in there. All right, let's continue. Well, what if you're late to the coronation? Do you know when it is and everything? Are you sure?
And girl looks at you and says, that's none of my concern.
Well,
careful, and being careful not to step on the ants. I go to each of the holes and drop a little bit of Hydra Turkey down the holes. That's gonna end well.
Yeah.
well, it'd be. Wouldn't she worry about such things, about being late?
He says, we'll get there before you do, human.
I look
Well,
over.
just be careful. Make sure you guys get there. We're gonna need you. Both of you.
Why don't you just travel by foot through the woods, with the wagon? I mean, that's the way you're traveling anyways. If we're all together, it might be a safer journey.
Given that they're up in the tree sleeping now, I'm assuming they're traveling at night. Crunk.
They might have just stopped for a nap.
That's a hell of a nap.
He kind of lowers his head and closes his eyes.
I think this conversation's over.
Okay, well, we're gonna go eat, I guess.
And like I said, you two be careful. We're gonna need you both for the next part of this thing.
You don't get any response.
Rude, Wolf. Yeah, after I finish feeding the fire ants. That should make them leave us alone for a while.
Or get him riled up. One or the other.
Fire ants don't bite you to eat because they're hungry. They bite you because they're little assholes, man. When they bite you, they're not trying to eat you.
Well, I'm not stepping on them. I'll leave them alone. Besides, after they eat the Hydra turkey, they'll grow strong and big.
Oh yeah.
10 years later, there's an overrun of giant fire ants.
With Hydra abilities.
Fire
Every time you
ant
cut off one of
Hydra
their heads.
heads.
Wow.
5-headed fire ants.
I told you, how could it go wrong? I didn't know! I didn't know!
So
Yeah,
Trent
you call it a
has
hydrant. It's a
metal
hydrant.
pot on top of the fire, boiling some water.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Uzi and say, "Why did you make the fire in the middle of a bunch of fire ants?"
Just started it where we stopped and where the other camp was.
I don't think we're in the middle of the fire ants. I think the fire ants are closer to the tree, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, the fire ants aren't in the middle of the camp. I thought we were like, okay.
No, fire ants and water don't really get along.
As long as we stay away from... As long as we don't sleep here, we'll be fine. The whole point is we're stopping for a snack. Morning lunch... what is it? Morningsies? Is that
Brunch.
Second breakfast.
brunch? Yes.
Does anything happen while we're eating? Everything?
No, it's actually pretty uneventful.
Does the messenger bird get to us?
Yeah. It kind of gallops to a stop next to your carriage. A rider gets off, walks up to Trenton, hands him a letter, then goes back to his bird, jumps on, and flies off.
Okay.
That's nifty.
Practical.
Everything okay?
He starts reading and kind of shakes his head.
Uh-oh.
He looks at you and says, seems there might be some trouble up ahead.
Oh. Wait a minute. So a rider was dispatched to tell us that there's trouble ahead of us.
Why didn't they just send help instead of sending a guy that just leaves?
Because I'm not worried, are you?
Trenton looks at you and says, you can... he lets out a sigh.
Why didn't he even wait to see if you wanted to send a message back? What kind of operation are you running here?
Crunk.
Trenton says, there's some lords
to the guy
that are against this whole bringing in southern peasants to be lords.
Who's a peasant?
Well, if those lords were capable of getting the job done in the first place, the Emperor wouldn't have to arrange these special circumstances, now would he? I say if those lords want to stand between us and the capital, they can, but they're going to meet the same fate as that Hydra. And
Who do
the
you
Empire will
call
have less
peasants?
lords who are. The Empire will have less unloyal lords to worry about.
Crunk
He
says, I'm no
chuckles
peasant. I don't know what you're talking about.
and looks at Mega and says, quite the opposite. We've been ordered by a lord to take care of some bandits on our way.
Well, that's
Oh, so
that's no problem.
are they hoping we'll meet our doom at the hands of some bandits? Would that
Perhaps
be your
they're
guess?
trying to delay us.
Well, I guess, unfortunately for these bandits, they're going to encounter the immortal Tensai Uzi.
Well, if we're gonna go fight bandits, maybe we could talk Grant and Gladys into helping us out. And once they get done sleeping.
How many did they tell us? How many bandits? Are we looking at just a couple, or don't they know?
He says, according to this, they're staying in a keep further up north.
On the way?
Yes.
Well, we better get going then. After lunch, of course.
Did the riders scout the keep? Is there any information in the? Do you have any information in there about?
It'll be
anything
okay,
about it?
Crunk. It'll be okay. We
They're
have.
What do you mean it'll be okay? I'm asking if there's any information. It'll be better if. I'm just asking.
There is no task that can be put in front of us that we cannot accomplish.
Tensai
I'm
stretches out
asking
and
if it
checks
was
his weapons.
scouted, because if it wasn't scouted, then we need to scout it.
Well, we'll take care of that
Guys.
when we get to it. Now it's lunchtime.
No, you
Can you-
scout it
I-
before you get to it.
I can scout. Don't worry.
You can scout.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna go scout it out, so we know exactly where it is. I mean, do we know, like, will we be able to tell, like, how far we are and then send you ahead?
Besides, there's a way to handle this situation, and I know how to handle it. I have a plan.
Tensai starts.
I'm not just gonna go blindly following you anywhere.
Tensai starts twirling
You
his
have at this
blade.
If you have a plan, present it to the rest of us. I'm not gonna blindly follow you anywhere, Mega.
You have
No.
been blindly following me up to this point, haven't you?
No, I've been here because I had no other choice to fight in this arena.
Well,
You had a
I'm
choice
not
to
your
begin with.
follower.
we have to go north, and if they're in our way, we'll deal
Yeah,
with
and
them.
we go north with a plan. We go north with a plan, so we survive. I'm not
I-
blindly following this guy. You
Here,
might
here,
blindly
here,
follow him,
here.
Uzi, but
Crunk,
I'm not.
Crunk, here's the plan. Here's the plan.
Okay,
He
plan.
he explodes stuff. I slice them. You smack them. And Varric do Varric-y stuff.
Heals you all. Shit. No.
That's Plan B.
Uh,
That's Plan B, Tensai.
Uzi, I'm talking about a plan like scouting the place. This isn't an arena, Uzi. I mean, I know that's the kind of combat you're used to, but this is a keep with a bunch of guys. There's probably guards and you know there could be, you know, different plans of attack to it. We're gonna have to, like, probably sneak up on it some way.
And
we can't just go rolling up there
unless
wagon.
yes,
Actually, that's exactly what we're going to do.
he makes a good
They're
point.
bandits. You
Like
got
I
to understand what a bandit is. You have to understand your
Okay,
enemy
tell us-
to defeat your enemy.
Okay, well, let's make a plan. And then what's your plan?
We find
Simple.
out where it is.
You
how
got to
it looks.
understand why a bandit is a bandit. In this case, bandits are bandits because they're poor and they want to be rich.
Okay, so you want to roll up in a wagon and let them attack us and then fight that way.
They're not going to attack us. If they raise a hand against us, I'll explode one of them, and then they'll learn that they can't do that. And then in return, I'll offer them a job.
Trenton kind of looks over at you. Offer him a job.
we're going to need more men than the Empire can provide, and bandits are actually very effective at living off the land and working in hostile conditions. If the
Why
pay's
would
high
a
enough,
bandit? Why would a bandit not agree not to kill you for you to give them only part of your money when they could just kill you and take all of your money?
because
What's up with that?
Because they can't.
bandits
That's
are
why.
smart. They're not going.
They
They're not going to attempt to take somebody's money if they know they could die in the process.
They
They're
can't-
after the easy money.
kill us.
Well, if you go rolling down the road in a wagon into the middle of their keep where they've set up an ambush to kill and rob wagons on the road,
Well, that's
they're probably going to try to kill and rob us.
that's why we have Plan B, right, Mega?
Well, I'm just saying, they're not going to come up and start talking to you. They're going to come up and start swinging swords at you. And if we roll in a wagon into the middle of them, we're falling right into their
So-
strategic
so-
trap. They would have.
Brendan,
They would've-
would I be
they
correct
would
in
be
assuming?
ready.
Would I be correct in assuming that these bandits, had they been the bloodthirsty type that murdered every single person who traveled on this road, they'd have already been dealt with before we've gotten to this point?
This
He
is-
nods.
We're the ones to deal with them.
Right. They didn't pop up overnight. They've been here operating for a while. The Lord hasn't necessarily seen them as a true threat because as long as they're not blindly murdering people.
Operating, obviously, or they'd be dead.
Why don't we just at least get
We're the ones that
can
kill them, I imagine.
Crunk,
It's how politics work.
we can
Is
get there?
lunch ready yet?
Okay, okay, Mega. I don't want to go try to be a diplomat with a bunch of bandits. They're most likely going to attack us. We need a plan. I say we attack them and kill them.
Well, let's at least see what kind
I
of...
say we need to all come to an agreement on it and not just follow somebody's plan because they want us all to follow it. What do you guys think? I mean, do you guys want to go in there and try to talk to the bandits?
It might be a good way to get us in there so we can, if they do attack us, then we'll be able to work side by side instead of being spread out.
If they do attack us, we'll be at such a disadvantage that we will have pretty much no chance of winning. Just so
Sendo?
you know, if they do attack us, which there's a high chance they do, we'll be at a huge strategic disadvantage because we'll be in a wagon rolling into their keep, and they'll have their. I'm sure they have strategic places with guys placed around the keep, and that's how they attack and rob people and stuff. That's what bandits do. Like,
Aren't you a cleric of Ramu?
I'm one that's traveled down the road and ran into crazy things on the road. I mean, I haven't ran into bandits, but
Fortune favors the bold.
Sendo,
You take chances, you roll the dice, and you
Yes.
win the jackpot or you lose.
how many people have
I
I killed
don't
at
know,
once in the arena?
At once?
Yes, how many people have I taken at once out of my 87 prior wins from the tournament?
I don't know, man. Give me a D50. Leave it to the luck of the day.
19.
19 at one time.
Okay. Tensai's gonna look over to Krunk and say, I've taken on... He starts counting on his finger. 19...
Then it's toes.
and then it's 19 men at once in an arena fight.
okay. That like I said, Uzi, this is not arena fighting. Have you ever been on a road in the middle of 19 archers in strategic positions, maybe 150 feet away, all surrounding you, firing arrows at you? Have you ever won that against 19 people? Because that's the kind of thing we'll be facing.
Well, with Mega and
They're
you
not
and
just gonna
Varric,
come and try to.
with all of us, we'll be fine.
Yeah, but we'll most definitely win if we scout them out and then make a plan of attack and maybe
Well, then
even kill
let's-
them all in the middle of the night.
Then let's get there. Food first.
No, let's get
Very
near there.
nods.
So what about this party tells you that we're the quiet, stealthy type that would be capable of pulling off something like that?
He's right, though. It'd be nice to know at least how many there are.
I want to know what we're going into, and I'd rather surprise them instead of
Then
drive into the middle of
let's
like all
let's
these
get
guys that will all be
closer.
positioned for a kill.
Let's get closer
Of
to
course
them
we're
then.
getting closer. We're gonna lead. I'm just
Okay.
talking so we know what to do when we get there. I mean, do you guys want to stop close and then send the scout in? So you want to scout Uzi, or
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys just want to drive the wagon into the middle of the thing?
I can look before we drive the wagon into the middle.
No, I'm not going in the wagon. Well,
We'll
I
see.
say
We'll see.
before we make a decision, it's
I
probably the best thing
I'll make it
before we decide if we're going to
Well, let's scout
drive the
first.
wagon.
We'll get there. We'll scout, and then we'll make a decision. Make a decision.
That's
Okay.
That sounds agreeable to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds perfect.
All right, Sendo. We go towards this keep after we eat.
All right, time for a break.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. Thank you guys for watching. All the links in the description if you want to follow everything and subscribe to all that stuff. Everything's down there, so yeah. We'll be back.